Are you guys ready to get the conspiracies pumping? Midget Man says he's excited. Is anybody else in the house excited? Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to RC Conspiracies and another midweek one we've got going on this week. I don't know how often we're going to do these. I guess as often as things pop up during the midweek. So I saw a little bit of breaking news as I was just kind of perusing the web like I normally do in the evening. I wanted to go back and watch a Spektrum video that I only watched the update on Facebook. I think it was... who was it that had posted it? Somebody posted it, and I saw it, and I don't remember who it was. But it was on Facebook on the ARRMA Army group. I think it was Tom Cogswell that posted it, who is with Spektrum, brand manager, and he had posted it up there for people to view and see what they were doing with their new smart technology. So... pretty exciting stuff just in general, and then it got even more exciting as I watched the video, and so that's what is really cool, and that is what we're going to talk about tonight. So you guys strap in, buckle up, whatever you want to do. It's kind of weird if you got buckles and straps, though, on your computer chairs or wherever you're sitting, unless you're driving, in which case you shouldn't be watching the video, unless you're a passenger, of course, right? So this was very last minute. I was just sitting down looking through things, and then I saw it and I started posting. I thought, man, do we talk about this tonight or not? Everything's set up. Why not? Let's just go up and let's talk about it. So let's do that. Midget Man says the truth is out there. Sorry, guys, I had to cough. I've got something going on in my throat, chest area, drainage and all that. So I may mute to cough every once in a while. But, yeah, so lots of stuff. People in the chat already. Haraldson's giving thumbs up. He says, Carlos R.C. Guillen says, what ARRMA got in mind? Three hms. I guess. Travis R.C. Adventures says, what is up? So let's just get it over there to the chat. Midget Man says, truth is out there. Like I said, Discovery RC is in the house, says, what's up? Carlos says, something is telling me that ARRMA going to come with something big. Maybe an 8S monster is coming. I don't know, guys, so I'm going to leave it up to you. That's where we're going to go. We're going to go to the chat a lot tonight to talk to you guys. We'll look at some of the pictures, some of the video, show you what I saw in case you didn't see it. But you should all go and watch that Spektrum video regardless because it's pretty cool tech. They're not going to need that dynamite speedometer anymore. One of these guys right here. Thanks, Greg. Dynamite GPS in order to track their speeds because they can do it right from their controller through the telemetry in the car. So the car didn't even hit 100. It hit like 99, 98. There's varying 1 mile per hour difference between the Dynamite, which said 98, and the controller, which said 99, which is close enough in my book. But yeah, so really cool tech that's coming out. I'm excited about that smart technology being in the cars. And I'm kind of wondering, too, like, so we'll look at the tech, and I'll tell you what I'm wondering. But I want to know what you guys are thinking. And, yeah, so Jerry's already calling it. He says it's a 1.6 1250 kV 8S motor with an ARRMA heat sink. So it's an 8S motor with an ARRMA heat sink. And so that's the main thing that I noticed. Okay, Spektrum's doing it. I'm like, okay, I mean, maybe if they're going to put Spektrum in everything, they did it in the low C Tenacity DB. Maybe they'll put it in the bigger cars too. Maybe go 5th scale. So you need an 8S. But when I saw that ARRMA heatsink on there, let's get to the pictures. All right, so let's start in the pictures. Start on the website with what's going on. First of all, guys, as always, want to point you to the merch store. This stuff helps me out with the channel. And I've been having to invest quite a bit to do the podcast setup here to do this kind of a show. And we're going to be offering a podcast, which is going to be a monthly payment that I have to pay to run it So anyway, if you're interested and you want to support, if you just buy a shirt, stuff like that, it really does help out. And we've got a free shipping thing here. If you come over to the RC Conspiracists or my CCxRC Facebook, when you click on it, you will get a free shipping. Congratulations on this purchase. And that goes through the end of the month. I've got free shipping on those, so be sure to check out that swag. So we are going total podcast style with the advertising right up front. It's not really even advertising. It's my own stuff. So let's talk ARRMA. Let's talk Spektrum. We were wondering 2 weeks ago, I guess, we went and talked about, or last week, about Spektrum and their new lineup that they had of motors and all of that. And so we were wondering if they're going to have motors. And then the Tenacity DB Pro came out midweek last week. We talked about that. So it was last week. And it had a Spektrum motor in it. And so that started the, I guess the balls rolling in my mind, thinking about what's coming, how they're going to roll this out, because here's a Losia that has it. So what does that mean we're going to get for motors from Spektrum? Anyway, Tara RC Martin had posted, she keeps finding her way into the conspiracies here with her posts, because Damian Cross said, tell your dream I want a Max Destroyer, please. And that means an X-MAXX Destroyer. You guys know that. I don't call it that. People call it the X-MAXX Killer. I think they're going to be like kind of equals on a different like team. Like one's going to be more monster truck, one's going to be more truggy. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a Kraton, is it going to be an Outcast, is it going to be something completely new that we don't even know they're going to do. But Tara says 2019 isn't over yet. If you remember Jason's video from earlier this summer, he said that this year will be epic. I've heard people say it's going to be a big year for ARRMA. Wow, I almost did it again. I did that on Traxxas. I said ARRMA. Flipping it. They're kind of going toe-to-toe right now, back and forth. And so we're having to talk about about them one and then go back to the other. But so yeah, it's going to be a big year, I've heard. Like big things are in store for ARRMA this year. Lots of big. And so we have had some big things, right? So we've had what have we had? I'm going to go back to the chat here. We've had the what did I just get? The Infraction. So still kind of, 8th scale feeling. You've got the Limitless. They're both very awesome. They're both speed cars. And then we got the Mojave, which is like 1/7 scale, which is a big car again. 1/6. So, they are fairly big cars, but is that as big as they're going to go this year? And that's kind of, I guess, what everybody's wondering, right? So everyone keeps pushing X-MAXX Killer. Like, we know that there's something out. They've got to be listening. There's so many people talking about it. And so all of that is kind of what we're doing. So let me get back here to the chat. It says ARRMA needs a new Halo car. I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Joseph Quintana says, my Infraction is slow. I need to upgrade. Any recommendations? What do you mean is slow? Tell us what slow means to you. Craig McClellan says, again, my mic is quiet. That's what everybody keeps saying. And when I watch it back, it's not that quiet. So I'm not going to listen this time. I keep adjusting volumes because of the comments. And when I play it back, everything seems and sounds good to me. Everything's a little bit lower volume just coming into the computer. But yeah. So we've got Midget Man saying, I need to get some RC Conspiracies merch. Oh, that's cool, man. Travis says, I'm digging the smart technology coming to the RC world. The possibilities could be endless. Awesome, I agree. Somebody says here, Senjiz Gilas says, I feel like a Kraton XL is coming soon. Bobake City says, evening, gentlemen and RC junkies alike. Hey, welcome. Join the club, the RC Junkie Club here on the Conspiracy Show. Midget Man saying he's looking for a good truck that's about like $300 to $400 because he's 13 and don't got money so often. So any recommendations? The ARRMA line, the Granite, is one of my favorite trucks. $300. But you could possibly find the 4S used. in that price range. So if you want to get a little bit bigger, faster truck, you might look and do that. What else do we got here? Timothy says it's quiet on his end too. So maybe the whole feed is quiet. Maybe we'll just kind of push the whole thing a little bit then. So, Craig says he just put a Max 6 on stock motor in his Kraton and it really woke it up. That's cool. Scottzilla just jumped in here. JT's in. He says, what did I miss? So anyway, guys, what we were looking at was this right here. So I'm watching through the video, and we'll watch a little bit of the video together on here. And I saw this ARRMA kind of like heat sink with a fan on it. And I know he had just said it's an unmarked motor, but I mean, it clearly has an ARRMA brand on this. He said it's an unmarked 8S motor. So I'm like, huh, what's that? And then, you know, you keep watching and it clicks through, and I got to give you guys the pictures. So you see this ARRMA motor connected to this smart, and he just did, like I said, he called it unbranded. And so the first thing that caught my eye was branding, of course, right? So I'm in marketing and branding, and so that's what kind of jumped out to me. And I'm like, what is that? So I kept watching, and then later on, they go into the car. He does this really, it's kind of cool, like what they do with the video. Like, he does this whole pick it up off the table and just kind of sets it on the car, and then they do a cut screen, and he's got it all installed. Really cool. Great little cut there, Spektrum. I dug that. And then you see, and actually this heat sink is off. So they were using that just to basically cover up this 8S motor by Spektrum that's stuck in here. So again, all just kind of stuff from that make you go, and why is this being made? Now, granted, there are other uses. We've seen already that Spektrum stuff is coming in at least one low-C, and I have a feeling that Horizon's going to roll this Spektrum out throughout their lineups as kind of like their new electronics brand, which I think is awesome. I mean, it's a smart move, and Spektrum, you know, so far has a great name recognition, and I think it will help them to even just sell standalone products as far as ESC and motors, putting them on the shelf next to Castle and Hobbywing and stuff. So I think that's cool. Let's get back to the chat. What do you guys think that this is for? You know, part of me is like, this would actually be a cool RTR. Like, the Limitless came as a kit, so maybe they're just, I mean, for one, they're showing us what the possibilities are. However, it only did 98.99. People are wanting these Limitless to go a lot faster than that. And some of it may be gearing. They may want to gear up. But part of me is saying maybe this motor is not really meant to be a speed motor. Maybe this motor is meant to power something else that's big. So, I mean, it is for 8S power. So what would that go into? Like my DBXLE was an 8S can, and it was a pretty big can. So let's get back to what you guys are saying here for a second. So JT is in the house. Everybody's saying hello. So Bobake70 says, do you think Spektrum will ever make smart combo censored, or is there no need with telemetry? Does smart ESC tether with motor anyway with any cord like sensor wire? So they're getting rid of the sensor wires and all of that kind of stuff, I guess, for this, because in this setup, he knew how fast it was going. He knew temps of like the ESC. Lots of cool information was coming back to them if you watch this video. They may do censored. I honestly don't know how the connection works. I just know that they weren't needing wires, and they were getting really cool information without all the extra wires. Scott still says just the smart batteries. What was he asking? And if I don't answer your question, guys, or I don't ask it, and it's something you really want answered, be sure to do it again, ask it again, because once they roll too far, it's hard for me to go back through all of them and catch up on it. So I know that you guys are really good at helping each other answer stuff, but you know, if you want it asked and talked about, for sure, definitely put it in there again. I'm going to move on down. Midget Man says, I would have loved to click the live stream notification and see Tony show up wearing the unicorn dancing. You know, my kids were saying I needed to show up on one of these in the unicorn costume. He did say that. They both did. Greg says, Super Rockray uses an 8S motor already. Okay. So I know that there are 8S motors out there, and so maybe that's it. Maybe that they just are making an 8S motor, and he just happened to put it in this machine. They didn't want us maybe to know that there was an 8S motor coming that was Spektrum. And so maybe that's all it is. I mean, it's just that you see it drop in here, and I'm thinking, man, that would be... I haven't bought a Limitless because I know it gets so expensive buying all the stuff for it. But if I could just buy one like that, that would be sick. And maybe that's what I'll do, is just buy it and then buy that system and put it in. I don't have much of a need to go much over 100 miles an hour. So if I just geared that up a little bit, I'd be a happy camper. Just because that car, for one, just looks cool going down the road. I would just want that. But then you get the benefit of the smart technology, and then that's super, super cool. So I really don't have any idea of what this is for. You know, I'm just speculating. I just saw it, and it was one of those, whoa, what could this be for? But again, it's Spektrum, which is just a Horizon hobby brand. It doesn't have anything other than that ARRMA heatsink that got me wondering, you know, what is this? I don't know what can size this is. I can't really tell. You know, did ARRMA already have heat sinks with fans that were that size? Is that something new? If it is something new, what could it be going on? You know, your brain just starts going when you start seeing stuff like that. At least mine does. And so I just like to talk about it with people. I know you guys are into it. You love to think about what might come out, talk about what might come out, talk about what you'd like to see come out. And so that's all we're doing here. I don't have any intel like that's... I saw something and it's going to let you know exactly what's coming out. This is more just what could this be used for. And I think there's a lot of cool things it could be used for. The Super Rockray, he said, Greg said, uses the 8S, the DBXLE. Does the Super Baja Ray, does that run on a 6S or does that run on an 8S? I haven't driven one. I don't know that much about it. And if it does run on 6S, would this fit in it? That would be the next question. Scottzilla says it's a 12-ounce can. That's about right. I would say so. I know that's what the DBXLE was about. It looked like a Coke can sitting in there. RC Fest Studio Production says the diameter of the motor, how it fits in the motor mount, though. It is big. I don't have my Infraction here to kind of look at and compare. So, Sinja says 8S. Juicebox 833 full says 99 miles an hour hurts when it hits you. Just saying. Big Squid is in the house. We just want to talk. It's kind of, you know, one of those funny things where it's just like, you know, we joked about, hey ARRMA, basically ARRMA Horizon, ball's back in your court, right? So after the Traxxas 4S, I was thinking, how fun would it be to see ARRMA come back and do something that goes up toward the Traxxas 8S line. Not saying that that's what this is, but it was funny that there's a Spektrum 8S in this, and funny coincidence. So I'm like, let's talk about that. Greg says SBR Super Baja Ray currently only has a 6S motor in it, but the ESC can handle 8S. Okay, so could gear up. This would be a cool system probably in that with all of the telemetry. And since that's kind of like a speed truck, like off-road speed truck, it'd be cool to have some of that data running through this new Spektrum system. This smart system, guys, like I said, if nothing else, to see this motor and stuff in here, you need to check out the video. I've got it loaded up here for you guys to just kind of see, because I wanted you to see where we saw some of this stuff in the video. because it was one of those just kind of funny things where it's like unmarked and then like the cans are marked. So I pretty much stopped the video. I had to go back and watch the rest of it after I saw that, because my chain of events today was, I saw, like, I was taking a break earlier in the day and I saw the post. I started to watch it, and then it was the Facebook one. It said watch it all on YouTube. I'm like, well, I don't have time to go over there and do that now. So I just decided to wait, and I came back later, and that's when I saw, and I'd heard the unmarked thing in the Facebook one. And then when I saw further into the video, I'm like, well, that's marked. What does it say? And, you know, because nowadays I'm looking for any kind of lead that I can find for RC conspiracies. And I saw that, and it just got my brain thinking. Then I went backwards and I saw the ARRMA can fan. So anyway, we'll take a quick look here at the video, show you guys just a little bit. We won't watch the whole thing, but you should. So you need to go on to SpektrumRC on their page. We're going there right now. I just on Google or on YouTube, I just put in SpektrumRC, and right at the top it has it. ARRMA Limitless gets smart with Spektrum Smart technology. So it's got 600 views. We can get it way up from there. And right in here is where he starts talking about it. Let's go ahead and just listen to it for a second.
Technology to help track the speed and the power that something as massive and awesome as the ARRMA Limitless is. I'm going to be using a Spektrum Smart ESC, the FIRMA 160. I'm going to be using a unmarked motor, but it is 8S capable.
It is 8S capable, and it is semi-marked right there with the ARRMA logo on the large heatsink fan. So that's marking number 1 that I saw.
And I'm going to be using two 5,000 milliamp 4S batteries.
And they are going to run it on 8S. So they're saying it's up to 8S, and they're doing it on 8S. So they're using all Spektrum Smart components, which made me think, okay, well, it's going to probably be one of the motors that will work with it. But still unmarked. I was thinking maybe it's an unmarked hobby wing that is, you know, a demo. And maybe that's still what it is, but it's marked, and we'll see it soon. But here he's going to do that cool
glued to the road. So, and then to control it all,
he's going to, in a second, after he shows off the controller, he's going to do the drop-in of it into the car, which I think is a pretty cool edit. Again, I'm a video guy, so I watched it. I'm like, yeah, thumbs up, guys. You were thinking on that one. So let's see where he goes here. And we'll right after that is when we actually see the motor. But he'll pick up all the stuff and he'll drop it in. So there we go.
My ARRMA Limitless, and we're done. Wasn't that easy? I've got everything already installed into my ARRMA.
I wish it was that easy. It's pretty easy though, but still. And so here they're going to do some really beautiful shots on this stuff. This is a 160 amp ESC Spektrum Smart. And this is the one I had my eye on from the get-go. I definitely want one of those. It's going to have some real power for it. And you can already see that there's logo on the... Let's go into theater mode at least. You can already see that there's markings on the motor here. And you can see the logo clearly. And it's a big motor. And so this actually is set up for some of the bigger motors. The Limitless, whereas the people with the Infraction have to do like the flip around and all that. So you already know that this is a pretty giant can. And so for that heat sink to fit on there, unless they just have a sticker on it, I'm thinking that's new technology that we're spotting from both ARRMA and Spektrum. Now, the funny thing is they don't actually run it in the car with the heat sink on. He puts it on the lid and goes out. But it's really cool seeing all the data that they have on the controller as they're doing these speed runs, and then they can just look down and see what their max speed was. So it's doing like a counter for their speed, but then it also is telling them what their max speed was. So again, super cool tech. They're just doing it out here on the road at Horizon. They got cones blocking the road off, so people won't come the other direction where they're going. But yeah. So what do you guys think? Is this some new stuff? Am I crazy? Should I sleep more because I'm not sleeping enough and I'm starting to imagine things? I'm going to go back in here. Mr. Mad24 just jumped in. How's it going? Senja's GLS says, is your new Outcast a shelf queen, or am I going to bash it? I am planning to bash it. That is the plan. I've never driven one. I can't see buying one and not driving it. So if I already had one, I might keep it as a shelf queen. But at this point, what I'm going to do is I see it as this. I'm helping everybody else out that bought one of these. By bashing mine, that means that there's only now 499 that people will want to buy. Or, you know, as far as the more that get destroyed and beat up, the more value for the people that don't use theirs. So I'm doing this for you guys. So just remember that. But yeah, I do plan to do it, to run it. 11 Charlie says, ADAS system, I need it in my life. You and me, brother. I need another ADAS system. I actually want to put one in the Infraction. Infamous RC's telling JD Pasley loved his Outcast unboxing. That's cool. Somebody's saying, yeah, that I should take sleep. You're right. I do need sleep every once in a while. I get a couple hours a night. So JD Pasley has the Mojave on order. He said he's not going to get it until October 30th. It's a long wait, but it's worth it, man. Seeing these videos, that thing is awesome. And seeing JD and RC Dude bashing that thing, man, RC Dude did a backflip with it. Unbelievable. He was launching that thing. JT took it to the BMX tracks, was pounded against the jumps. It was so great. Midget Man says, I want the SMT10. It's just there, discontinued. It's not discontinued. It's just unavailable until they work out all the details to be able to bring it back to the shelves. But it's gone through a lot of the approvals, and you'll see it very, very soon. Midget Man, I have not sold the SMT10 yet. I have the Max D with upgrade parts for $450 if anybody's interested. At this point, it's still over on Facebook if you look. 11 Charlie saying, I hope it is true. It would be a killer. So what do you guys think it would be? Like, it could be, and like I said, it could be for anything. It could be for updating the Super Rock Ray line. It could be for a Limitless ready to run. Because, I mean, it's flying off the shelves as a roller kit. It may not be, necessary. I don't know that this is a KV motor for a speed truck either. JD Passel says, I'm going to sleep with the Outcast tonight. No, I'm not. I am not. That would make it smell. So he's saying that I should get a different shell for this at least before I run it. Shells are expensive. Plus, seeing that shell in the air would be pretty cool. Pretty cool. ESC temps would be nice to have in the Spektrum Racewear app on his DX6R, especially right after a race. So the ESC temps do show up, which is great. So they were hitting like 154 on this bigger one. Yeah. There's also a couple of other new models that came out today, which I didn't hint on or didn't talk about because it wasn't the main topic of tonight. Some of the other people are saying things that it could be. That Craig McClellan over on Facebook, will include some of these people because they're making comments over there, said they probably were just testing their stuff in the Limitless, even though it's Hobby Wing. They probably were checking to see if it shuts down at a certain speed like Hobby Wing does. So maybe. I told him to stop raining on my parade, but yeah, there were several comments on it. And then I have it also on the other one. But there was also, where are those posts? Losi and Axial had some new stuff that were shown over on RC Driver. I might just have to go over and show off his page. And if you, oh, here it is. Axial has a new Jeep Wrangler SCX24 coming out, which is funny. I was just watching Scale Builders Group where he took one of the Axial ones and he took the little toy scale body, like a Toyota one, and put it onto one. It looks super cool. And I was thinking, man, it would be cool to get one of those. And here we go. Jeep ones. I like it. But this is what really caught my eye, was that Losi had something else come out. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So my buddy Jeremy, who comes over here and we work on cars together sometimes, had pointed this out to me. But the Mini T has a 2.0 version, which is super cool. I'm really excited about these. Little 18 scale. It's a fun lineup. JT says, Raider XL, need to get it out. You know, you saw that picture because I saw it. I've been trying to find one. If anybody has one that they're looking to sell, hit me up. An 8 scale Raider XL. I just think they're cool looking. I would love to have the brushless one, but if it was brushed, I could upgrade it. I like the colors of the red and white on the brushed one. But, yeah, so it was showing up as a back order over on Horizon Hobby's website store, but on the ARRMA it says it's discontinued, and so I was like, is it coming back? And Tara said, fake news. So, bummer. She deflated that balloon pretty quickly. Thanks, Tara. Although she's inflated other balloons because she's got all this other buzz about other things coming that we've all seen and talked about. So, yeah. It's been good. So those are the two other new things. Hopefully more details will be coming out soon. There's been more hitting about the Kyosho Ultima lineup. The old retro one is coming back. Kyosho's been doing a bunch of repops, and that one looks really awesome. And then we watched the Striker video. So there's been a lot of cool RC news that's been happening and things to talk about. And then, you know, all this Spektrum stuff in my mind, first of all, is just something to talk about in general because it's awesome what they're doing here, and they're changing as far as what we can see and have access to right there on their controllers. I mean, that's just fantastic. So, but yeah. Okay, back in here. JT, people are saying they'd love to see a new video from his Raider XL. Crazy Cam Kalani says, oh yeah, that mini Losi looks sick. Bobek saying Raider XL will probably be good with the drag conversion. That would be pretty cool. That'd be very cool. Bobek saying it'd be nice for Arma to give us a buggy besides the Typhon, which is probably why they got rid of it, because of the Typhon being like a real basher one, where the Mega Truck was kind of that old vibe of, you know, retro kind of feeling buggy look, you know, that very narrow chassis, which is what I actually like about it, but it doesn't do probably the flips and all the cool stuff. It's two-wheel drive. So it would be a cool conversion, though, to a dragster, that's for sure. I mean, it's almost like it's built for it, right? Maybe they should bring that back out with all the drag stuff out there. I'm sure that Proline or J Concepts would come out with a drag body that would go on it and look super, super cool. Because right now all the drags have to have such wide bodies because they're like the slashes and stuff. So this could almost do like that really like funny car kind of look to it. Take a drink of my Coke here. But yeah. So that was it, guys. I mean, I just want to give you a quick look at something I'd spotted, let you know to go and check out what Spektrum is doing, first of all. I mean, that's the main thing. The rest of it's just kind of like, it's conspiracy theories. You know, it's just kind of coming up with stuff and saying, could it be this? You know, could it be a big Armas coming? Or, you know, maybe they're just going to have aftermarket, you know, motors that we can drop into a Limitless that we're going to be able to buy. I really think that for sure you're going to start seeing this motor in some of the other large-scale cars that are already in the Horizon Hobby lineup. But could it be put into something new, right? Bobake70 says, I believe they're phasing the Sentin out of picture now. Mojave's out. I could see that. So anyway, guys, as I find stuff, a lot of these midweek ones will probably not be the hour-long ones. They're kind of like quick hits when something noteworthy pops up that I see that's worth more than just posting pictures of or links over on the RC Conspiracist Facebook page. I thought I'd just kind of come in here just because I wanted to speak through some of the details that I saw, because, you know, it's not obvious. None of it's obvious about what's happening. And so it's just kind of like speculating what it might or might not be. So you definitely want to join that Facebook group if you are on Facebook. The RC Conspiracists will get you approved on that. When I see that the notifications come in, we'll jump over there and approve any of you guys that want to join in there. It's a private group, and it's been really great. Lots of interaction about stuff, people pointing out new things that they're seeing. And yeah, guys, if you like the RC Conspiracies and the idea of it, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Give us some love over here on the YouTube. And again, anything that you guys see and think would be cool to talk about on here, let me know. Some of it may jump over to RC channels, may jump over to some other stuff that may not all be the tech side of RC. You know, we might speculate about other things. You know, we already joked about something that's not even joke worthy. I guess it wasn't a joke, but the idea of why do hobby shops get robbed so often? Yeah. So we'll be going over that kind of stuff. Be sure you can hit me up over on Facebook through Messenger or on Instagram. Stickers, guys, I've still got some available, and I've still got a few stamps left. If you guys want to get the RC Conspiracy stickers, hit me up on one of those groups. Send me your address. We'll get them in the mail for you in the next week and a half. And yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to another RC Conspiracies about Spektrum and ARRMA, and who knows what else we talked about. Thanks for jumping into the chat. Thanks for joining in the conspiracies, helping answer questions people have. You know, we do this all for you guys, and just because we enjoy hanging out and talking RC. You know, it's a really cool hobby to be a part of, and it's great the way that there's community around it, and that it transfers to an online community at the same time. So thanks for being a part of that, guys. We'll catch you next Monday on RC Conspiracies.